Dear colleagues, thank you very much for participating also to this fourth section of the ICAR webinar today. In this section, we will see the somatic cell counting parameter comparability and its traceability to the certified reference material. As many of you know, in 2019, the ICAR and IDF started the project of the references for somatic cell counting. The main reason of this project it was that we have realized that in the proficiency testing scheme we obtained this distribution as reported in this picture, and nothing changed over the years. This picture is an example of the ICAR proficiency testing scheme when it started its activity in 2016. The ICAR PT participants know that in the statistical elaboration we provide this picture. This picture means that for each participant, we reported on the x-axis the total sample relative bias from the assigned values, and on y-axis is reported the standard deviation of the sample bias. It was very clear from the beginning that we have two types of population, one clearly underestimate and another overestimate. In 2016, we organized as usual 2 rounds in March and September, and we can see that the distribution of March, the blue dots, it's really impressive. We have plus minus 50% from the assigned values. Already in September, the population starting to condense closer to the center, and we notice the typical distribution of plus minus 20%. Using the information collected with the questionnaire distributed in the frame of the project reference system for somatic cell counting, it was clear that the laboratory performance distribution was due to the use of different secondary reference materials. This is still confirmed today. In this slide, we can see that if we assign to each participant a color of the secondary reference material used, the results are usually grouped with the same color. It means that the instrument calibration are adjusted with different secondary reference materials that they are not traceable each other, because till now a certified reference material was not available. In this slide, we show you the ICAR proficiency testing performance for somatic cell counting over the years. For each year, you see two colors because, as you know, 2 PT rounds are organized. The dots filled represent the year highlighted on the top of the figure. The unfilled dots represent the previous year's round. In this way, we can visualize where we were, the dots unfilled, and where we are, the dots filled. In this slide, the filled dots represent the somatic cell counting distribution in the last proficiency testing scheme conducted in March 2021. So looking to the past rounds, the unfilled dots, we can really see a significant movement of the laboratory performance close to the center of the distribution, and the majority of laboratories are inside of the box of plus minus 10%. I show you again the slide of the previous presentation where this improvement resulted in a much better reproducibility. For the first time, the reproducibility was below 10%. So the introduction on the market of the certified reference material in March 2020 could be one of the motivation for the laboratory to start to build up a metrological traceability. In the last years, European Community, ICAR and International Dairy Federation, in the frame of the project Reference System for Somatic Cell Counting, offered several tools to safeguard somatic cell counting measurement towards a better analytical equivalence. Here are listed only the last achievement of 2020-21. On this link, you find all the information to purchase the certified reference material for somatic cell counting. The product is provided with a certificate, detailed instruction on how to prepare the sample, and a complete report on the characterization process. The members of the reference system for somatic cell counting really believe that all this qualified information and the involvement of different laboratories of the dairy chain in the characterization process can serve for a better acceptance and use of the certified reference material. Now that the certified reference material for somatic cell counting is available, it is important to provide instruction on how to adjust the instrument calibration and how to characterize the secondary reference material or internal quality assurance sample, for example, the pilot sample. This characterization has to be done in a traceable chain that refers to the certified reference material. For this reason, the IDF Bulletin and the ICAR guideline are offered for free and can be downloaded from the IDF or ICAR website. Furthermore, an Excel file is available to test the calibration and the characterization procedure. Other interesting information has been provided comparing the ICAR PT assigned values with the assigned values of the same sample characterized in a traceable way to the certified reference material. In September 2020, we have done this first test. The instrument has been calibrated with certified reference material, the ICAR PT sample have been analyzed, the assigned values have been calculated according to the IDF Bulletin and the ICAR guideline, and we have also calculated the associated uncertainties. According to metrological rules, far we are from the certified reference material, bigger is the uncertainty. In this way, we think that the ICAR PT samples assigned values has the bigger uncertainty because they collect all the uncertainty of the level above, the different calibration in the lab, the different quality assurance sample, etc. In this table, we have compared the uncertainty of the certified reference material with the uncertainty associated to the ICAR PT sample characterized in a traceable way to the certified reference material. At the same level of concentration, you can see that the uncertainty associated to the ICAR PT sample is bigger than the certified reference material. This is according to the metrological rules just illustrated. Now that the ICAR proficiency testing sample have been characterized in a traceable way to the certified reference material, they have an upper position in this metrological pyramid. In a certain way, they are comparable to the secondary reference material that have been characterized in a traceable way to the certified reference material as well. According to this example, in the future, if we use a secondary reference material with an associated uncertainty smaller of the uncertainty of the certified reference material at the same level of concentration, we have to conclude that the secondary reference material has not been yet characterized in a traceable way to the certified reference material. In these graphics, we have illustrated the somatic cell counting laboratory's performance when it's compared with the assigned values of proficiency test and when it's compared with the assigned values calculated in a traceable way with the certified reference material. As previously illustrated, the mean values of the traceable values is 3.5 lower than the assigned values of the proficiency testing scheme. It figures out in a distribution with more labs in the right side of the graphics, but always in a range of plus minus 10% bias from the certified reference material. Considering all the information collected in the last months, the Milk Analysis Subcommittee is considering to revise the report of the ICAR proficiency testing scheme for somatic cell counting. At the moment, it was decided to modify the Z-score fix according the following scheme. At the moment, the Z-score fix is calculated as the ratio between the laboratory bias from the assigned values of the proficiency test and the standard deviation of reproducibility of the method. In the next PT round, instead to use the assigned values of PT, we will use the assigned values traceable to the certified reference material. At the denominator, we will report always the standard deviation of reproducibility of the method. From this figure, you can see the different percentage of Z-score in the different classes with the application of the two formula. The expectation is that step by step, the laboratory's performance move closer to the assigned values traceable to the certified reference material, and the percentage of the green Z-score will increase. Further tools for your quality assurance checks are the two lyophilized samples offered in the ICAR proficiency testing scheme. These samples are stable and are always the same batch in the different proficiency testing round. In the control charts, you can follow the instrument stability and eventual calibration adjustment over the time. The aim of this presentation was to inform you on the technical information useful to build up a traceable measurement chain for the somatic cell counting. These materials were tested and discussed in the IDF and the ICAR committees before to published. This was done with the aim to find a consensus among their members. The possibility to have an international proficiency test organized in the frame of ICAR offer a stable platform with the possibility to discuss anonymous data that can be used to improve the method performance and the method equivalence. All of this will bring for sure a great benefit for the entire dairy chain. Thank you very much for your interest and for dedicating time to hear this presentation. We are looking forward to have you online on the first webinar of ICAR proficiency test and the ICAR contribution to worldwide traceability scheduled for 16th of June 2021. Thank you again.